Hello and welcome. This is Craven bringing you the latest of the StarCraft Broodwar commentary. Maybe not the latest, as this game was played back in 2009. And here we have Jaedong versus Flash on Neo Harmony. Now, Jaedong versus Flash, this is the most pinnacle of StarCraft Broodwar battles. It's at the very top, at least according to me. It's going to be Flash, then it's going to be Jaedong, then it's going to be Stork, and then it's going to be Bisu, and then it's going to be, well, probably someone like Effort. This game is highly anticipated, and being that it was played back in 2009, Jaedong and Flash didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to get to practice and play against each other. This is early on in their battles, so I expect Jaedong to be doing a solid, safe, and secure build without taking any risks. Perhaps the only risk that he would be willing to take at this point, which is a risk that all Zergs really like to take, which is that 12 hatch. And here we have Jaedong on the bottom right of the map, and we have Flash on the bottom left. Both of them are concentrating, and this game, I'm sure, is important to both of these players, as they, even back in 2009, I'm sure, were still regarded as two of the top players. And Zerg versus Terran is it's an interesting matchup where the Zerg players, they have to micro in much of the same way that they would against another Zerg opponent, because their units die so quickly. And it's the same thing goes for Terran, is that their units, as long as they don't go mech style, their units die very quickly. Their units are going to be Marines, medics, and fire bats. And the Zerg players are going to die very quickly because they mainly use, early on, they'll use Lings, or they use the delicate Mutalisk, or things like that. So expect these players to try to avoid taking chances where they're not sure. They're not going to, like, for instance, I would be very surprising to see Jaedong going for a lurker drop, something that is a risky build that if the first lurker drop doesn't do any damage, there's almost no recourse because of all the time and money invested in getting those overlords, not getting the overlords, but getting the drop research, getting the lurkers, and then expending all that offensive power on a dead attack would really it would really hurt him, and I don't think anyone wants to see this game go too quickly. People want to see a long, drawn-out game where Flash and Jaedong can use their decision-making ability to come out on top, not necessarily taking that coin flip chance of having Flash's main vulnerable to lurkers. But here we have Jaedong scouting Flash, and Flash is scouting Jaedong's base. They both find their bases at relatively the same time, and Flash is seeing that expansion and going for an expansion of his own. This is probably before Flash started making his first Marine. However, at this point, Jaedong really making that delay hurt on Flash more and more and more. So I'm sure that Flash did eventually start his first Marine. Now that SCV is staying on that drone is kind of strange. You know, Flash has essentially right there. Flash had 4 SCVs doing nothing. He had 3 of them trying to put down the command center, and he had 1 in Jaedong's base. Here's that first drone going for a quick little transition there to the expansion, and here's Flash making his second barracks. Pretty clear now that Flash is going to be going for a standard medic Marine, trying to build up a decent army before Jaedong can, basically attack. He's going to be going to develop a slow but sure army. He's not going for any quick aggressive play, not yet at least. And here we have 4 Lings pounding on the SCV, and that SCV can't last long. It's already down to something like 15 health, and Jaedong's just a master at microing those Lings and the multitasking that it takes to keep on top of that SCV until it actually dies, while macroing and scouting and everything else that he needs to be doing. So here's Flash's expansion coming up, and Flash is It looks like Flash was making a barracks, not a barracks, a bunker there, but it's a little hard to tell. We have 6 leans coming towards the front of Flash. As the third expansion looks to be thinking about being taken up by Jaedong. Now here's the Lings, and the Lings get the speed right then as they pass into the base. I don't know how you get such a perfect timing of Speedlings getting their speed the moment it comes up the ramp, because I think that if Jaedong was trying to run up that ramp with Speedlings, SCVs would be pulled off the line, and there would be a much bigger effort to try to slow down these Lings from getting into the main. Of course, Jaedong gets that scat out, kills 1 Marine, kills 1 SCV, and that's all the damage that is done for 8 Lings. It's not looking good. Jaedong is getting his second gas up, and that Spire is looking like it's going to be coming up relatively shortly, probably in a minute or so. Flash is putting down his engineering bay. He has his academy up, and it's researching probably STEM. It's not clear if he had STEM already. I don't really notice. I didn't really notice any STEM being used when he was chasing down those Lings inside his base. And this third base is about 3/4 of the way up, and Jaedong is going to be needing to put on some pressure on Flash to keep him inside his base, not exploring the map and not finding out that there is in fact a third hatchery going down. It's pretty standard for Zerg to take this third hatchery and then keep the pressure up until he can get his lurkers up and start defending that base from on top of the ramp. This is especially effective when the Terran player is going medic Marines, as the lurkers can just destroy the Marines as they try to walk up the ramp. We have about 5 or 6 Mutalisks here. Looks like 5, and Jaedong is taking out 1 SCV after taking a lot of pot shots from those 2 turrets right there. I love how Flash builds his turrets right next to each other. There's no gap between them. There is no room for error whatsoever by the Zerg when he's walking into the base. If that Zerg comes across the turret, he almost doesn't even have the choice to take down that singular turret, because it has 1, 2, or 3 turrets coming up, and you're going to see Flash continually making these turrets one after another. There's a third one going up at the natural expansion. And Jaedong is having a little trouble trying to find the proper place to attack. Now, Jaedong, I think Jaedong's, yeah, it looks like Jaedong has another building making in his third base, and that's probably going to be the Hydralisk Den, and it's probably going to be researching lurkers as we speak. Jaedong trying to take out a couple Mutalisks, but Flash takes out a Mutalisk. Flash definitely took down a Mutalisk there, at least 1 or 2, and Jaedong took down about 1 Marine, and he's really just watching for that point when Flash starts to move out so that Jaedong can possibly take down those turrets in the back. Take down the turrets or simply run by them, and here they go. He's going to take down 1. No, he's going to take down 2 turrets at the same time. As the Marines run up, Jaedong runs away. And keeping Flash inside his own main, this is exactly what you want to do as a Zerg.